Today we're going to be reading people's juicy confessions, and trust me, some of these are going to be controversial. I had the biggest dump in my life in a mall. May God have mercy on my soul. It all happened once I woke up. My stomach was grumbling, growling and acting up, but it was only the beginning of what horrors were soon to be met. I dismissed the stomach ache and simply went to my own toilet to relieve myself. Well, nothing bizarre happened there. I decided that I was low in food and was looking for some clothes, so why not go to our local mall? Big mistake. Oh, such a big mistake. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that they basically clog up a toilet. You know, we've all been there, or most people have. I don't really care too much about that bit. I just want to know, did you flush it? There's been so many times whenever I've been out in public, in malls, and someone's done a poo and not flushed it. I don't know if it's just me, but if I have to physically go out and flush someone else's poo for them, I feel like I should be rewarded somehow, financially. I arrived after about 30 minutes of walking. It was only a stroll away. The cherry on top to this crappy fate was the walk there. It stimulated my bowels so much I screamed in horror and pure terror. This was truly the part I realized I should have listened to the natural call for me to stay at home. I don't know what I was thinking. This was an emergency. On this channel, we always talk about trusting your gut. I feel like this person should have trusted their bowels. I feel like we've all been there where we think we need a poo and then we're like, ah, no, I'll be fine. Then we go out and we need a poo and you can't literally do it, like you're proper constipated. The mall wasn't big and it wasn't too crowded as I live in a fairly small city in a small country. I entered the mall and slowly but surely made my way to the toilet. A low price of 25 cents was the cost of my demise. Why do you have to pay to go to the toilet? I've seen toilets out and about in Northern Ireland. If you go into them, you have to pay. Why am I having to pay to go and do a poo? I quickly looked for any other people in the stalls and I was truly relieved no one was present for the crime scene I was about to make. I went into one of the stalls. When I say the poo flowed out like a waterfall, I'm not exaggerating. I feel like whenever it comes to poos, now it's getting TMI and it's a bit disgusting for the first confession of this video. There's 3 different types. You know, the fat, nice one that's like the healthy one. Kinda looks like a big hot dog. Then you got the rabbit droppings where it looks like little minstrel. You know, it looks like little Maltesers. And then you got the messy ones. And something tells me this is going to be a mixture of all 3 of them. Now, I don't want to get too detailed as to spare anyone unfortunate enough to lay their eyes upon this, but I was there for what I assume was 35 minutes. A decently short time, but in that time I was able to commit such tragedies. I'm so sorry, 35 minutes to push out a poo, that is not a short amount of time. That's very, very long. For me, I literally poo and like it's out within the space of like 40 seconds, maybe a minute or 2 minutes max. 35 minutes, you know, are you actually doing a poo or are you giving birth to a baby? I groaned, pushed, and God knows what. It took 5 flushes to even make some process. It was piled up, like I mean, it was truly nearly on the edge of my butt cheeks when I sat. Oh my God, you sat down in a public toilet. I don't know if this is just me, but I don't do that. I think that's disgusting. Maybe it's just me and I've got good posture and good legs, but I hover. That's just the way I am. The only place I sit is my toilet in my house, and not even the one downstairs. I have an ensuite and that's the only toilet I use and sit down on. I don't want to be sharing a toilet with someone else, sorry. Like, I just don't want to be sitting in the same toilet seat that someone else has sat on. They might have like an infection, hair, skin. Oh, it just makes me feel sick. I feel embarrassed, obviously. I waited flush. As I say, the mall was small and there were more bathrooms in the more populated areas, so luckily no one walked into me. I eventually managed to somewhat flush it all down, but I believe the skid marks made were now engraved into the toilet sole. Whenever I walk into a toilet and see skid marks, it reminds me of battle scars. Like, I know 20 minutes beforehand someone was having a battle of their life. Oh, and don't get me started on the wiping, horrible story. I'm genuinely surprised it didn't clog up the toilet alongside with my poo. It smelled putrid in there. I cleaned my hands as much as I could. I rubbed them and soaked them, but the blood of my crimes will lay in them until the true end of eternity. I feel bad for the janitor to clean the toilet after. My condolences to them and their family. I mean, yeah, you know, I always feel bad for the cleaners because there's been times whenever I've walked into a toilet and I've just walked out immediately. Have you ever had one of them experiences? It's just the fact that like someone leaves the toilet in such a bad mess and then they just walk away. You'd think, you know, the least you could do is actually flush it, you know, do everyone a favor. I'm not even joking, it was so horrible. My bum is still recovering from it and I feel sick to my stomach. Well, at least I got rid of the stomach ache. I was too shaken up and embarrassed to continue shopping, so I ashamedly walked back home, making sure no one saw me in the mall. It was truly the poo of my life. I don't know what triggered it, but moral of the story, listen to your gut. I mean, I kind of want to know what you ate to give you that tummy ache, because quite clearly something went down. And yet again, I feel like we can all relate to that person. Like, we've all been in a situation where we've done a poo, look back at it and thought, how in the world did that come out of me? Like, I'm not joking, sometimes the poos I do are the same size as my forearm. When I was pregnant, I was so constipated and went 22 days without going. When I finally did, we had to call the building maintenance to fix the toilet. I've never been more proud of myself. In a situation like that, don't call the cleaner, call the doctor. 22 days without going? Do you realize how bad that is? I'm so sorry, next time you do a poo, you won't be pushing out a poo, you'll be pushing out the unborn baby.
I have retroactive jealousy disorder towards my partner, which means that I'm obsessed with what my partner did in relationships before me. It got to a point where I couldn't see a particular type of car on the road without going into like a mini panic attack. Before I knew what was going on inside my head, I stuck loads of questions on her completely unfairly. Started asking loads of silly questions like, when did you meet him? How long did you spend at this particular place? Until I realised that something was wrong with me. And when I did, yeah, just got some help and I feel
Okay,
much,
that's
much better.
good.
How did you kind of get over it? Was it just talking about it, hearing about it?
To be honest, it was hearing about it. It was hearing about it and watching a YouTube clip and going into the comments and seeing something like 6,000 comments of other guys going, oh my God. Other guys and girls, there's girls as well, I should say. Mostly guys, but it is girls. Just saying, oh my God, I'm so glad that I'm not the only person. I thought I was losing my mind. Speak out, guys. I got directed to a couple of websites and just done a lot of work on myself, really, and a lot of work on my relationship. Jumped in the gym a little bit more, ate a little bit more healthily, and yeah, it all seemed to work out.
Okay, so that's good. That guy obviously has a condition and he got the help that he needed. A lot of people should do that because I feel like a lot of times people know something isn't right with them, but they ignore the signs. And then, you know, every day they get worse and worse and eventually they spiral and do something bad. It's great to hear mostly mature men holding themselves accountable instead of projecting their issues onto women. Exactly, like I'm actually quite happy that he came forward and said, look, I had an issue and I went and got help for it. Everyone needs to do that, whether that's with, you know, something wrong with your body, your mind, if you have anxiety, depression, you know, if you have something wrong with you and you know it's not right, go and get help. Also, don't be ashamed to be told that you might have something. You know, you might go to a doctor, a therapist, etc. and they might say, yeah, you've got this. You should view your diagnosis in a positive light.
Do you hear that then?
Oh my god! And they're just listening. Videos like that are the reasons as to why I didn't go to university. First of all, because I'm not smart enough to go, but second of all, I don't want to have to be in student accommodation. Imagine having literal roommates and they're doing that. You can hear him say shush. I mean, do you want to know something? If you have to tell a girl shush, you're obviously doing a good job. Either she's faking it completely or you're good at what you're doing. Bro's putting in serious work. I know, and apparently he's having a good reaction. But then yet again, it could be a situation where she wants it to end, so she's faking it. But either way, like, I'm so sorry. Why are you going up and filming it? Why are you literally listening in? You're just as bad as them.
What is the worst thing you've done in Zante so far? Whoa, she's...
I'm ready. I am ready.
Jesus, babe!
What's she done?
She ran off!
Poo?
We're gonna grass her up
What's
so
up with
she's
poo
sucking
in
up
this
front legs.
video?
Go on, tell me.
She's in the grass. She wiped her ass with a flower. And wiped her, yeah.
Wait a minute, your friend had a in the grass?
And used the rose to wipe her ass.
I mean, I've done it at a beach before and had to use seaweed.
There's a video.
No.
You only just had the
I thought I seen
Please
something
tell me you've
brown.
used some toilet roll since. You've had and wipe your ass with a flower?
A rose, actually.
I mean, if I was to pick a flower, it'd probably be a rose.
Probably the best flower out there.
You had your sore soaked?
Yeah.
Anything else? I mean,
her mouth.
Oh,
someone spat in your mouth?
It was frothing down her lip. Yeah.
Right, one more question. Are you
she's
gonna
getting
go wipe your ass
exposed by her
properly?
friends.
Probably not. You're gonna get nothing.
Okay, so that started off with her friends basically saying, yeah, she'd done a poo in the bush and then wiped her bum with a flower. By the way, I'm sorry for all the poo stuff going on in this video. Like, I know it's TMI, I'm not into it, trust me. And then what was the other thing? She got her toe sucked and then like someone spat in her mouth. Why are they exposing their friend? With friends like that, who needs enemies? I mean, put it this way, if you're with a group of people and you're having a laugh, it's not too bad. It's the fact this video got posted online, was viewed millions of times. And then people are gonna watch this video, so now even more people are seeing it. When me and the lads went to Magaluf, I shat in the sink in the room we shared. We left it there all week. Okay, so it went from someone clogging up a toilet in a mall to someone doing a poo in a bush to now someone literally doing a poo in a sink. What is people's obsessions with poos? And yet again, you left it there for a week. I'm so sorry. By that point, it's probably started a brand new virus. You know, we just got over COVID. We don't need, you know, virus 2024. But I can't lie, I can't actually blame her because I've been in a very similar situation. Whenever I was younger, I knew I needed to go before I left the house. I decided not to go and we got to the beach to walk the dog. So obviously I felt the need to go. So what did I do? I done it behind a rock and wiped my bum with a piece of seaweed. It's pretty disgusting, but you wanna know something? I'm not embarrassed about it. You know, you're put in a situation and you have to use your brain. Am I gonna stay constipated for the next hour? No, I'm gonna let it all out. I got my 18-year-old pregnant. Okay, so I'm hoping that right there is a typo. I'm hoping we're not talking about your daughter daughter. I, 27 male, met a girl, 18 female, a few months ago, and we hit it off immediately. She told me she was 22 and everything seemed great. We had a lot in common and I genuinely felt a strong connection with her. I didn't see any reason to doubt her age because she looked and acted mature for her supposed age. That right there is quite interesting because I know a few people who've had a few interactions like that. Basically, they've been speaking to somebody on a dating app and it turns out that person isn't the age they said they were. A lot of times younger people always say they're a few years older than what they are, but there has been times whenever they've been chatting to an older person, you know, the older person says they're like 33 and they're actually like 42. You know, you have to be very, very careful in dating apps. Fast forward to now and I recently found out she's actually 18, not 22. She admitted the truth to me herself because she felt bad about lying. She told me she was 22 because she thought I wouldn't be interested in her if I knew her real age. She apologized a lot and said she didn't think it was a big deal since she's an adult. I mean, that is true, you know, she's 18, at least she's not like 16 or 17. Now that would sort of be a bit of an issue. You know, she's 18, she's an adult, however, she still did lie. You know, 18 and 27, that is a 9-year age gap. And if people knew you were dating an 18-year-old when you're 27, they probably will raise their eyebrows. To make matters more complicated, she's now pregnant. I'm feeling a lot of things right now: anger, betrayal, confusion, and fear. I feel deceived because she lied about something so fundamental. If I had known her real age, I would have thought twice about getting involved with her in the first place. Now I'm stuck in this incredibly complicated situation that I wasn't prepared for. When I told her how upset I am, she got really defensive and said the age is just a number and we love each other so it shouldn't matter. But it does matter to me. I feel like I was manipulated into a relationship under false pretenses and now I have to deal with the consequences of her deception. You're allowed to feel that way because quite frankly that is the truth. You know, she lied to you about her age. Is she of age? Yes. However, barely. And you know, now you're having a child with her. Situations like that are really, really iffy because I do feel like there should be a law around situations like that. If someone lies about their age to somebody and then get into a serious relationship with somebody and then, you know, things escalate, aka baby, marriage, etc., that person who they've lied to should be protected in some way. I think it's like that whenever it comes to certain sexual diseases. You know, if you do have HIV or something like that, you have to, you know, let your partner know. And then if you don't take precautions to protect yourself and them and then they get infected, you can actually end up going to jail. Yeah, that right there is a very, very complicated situation because my friend was in a similar one a while ago. Basically, he had just turned 18 and he was in a dating app. It wasn't one of them like top tier dating apps, it was kind of a new one, so like the verification wasn't too good. Basically, he was chatting away to someone who he thought was 18 and it turns out they were actually 16, they lied about their age. And what we actually think that that person was doing was basically tricking people into thinking that they were of age and then blackmailing them. That's a whole nother thing you need to be careful about, you know, actual blackmailing dating apps. A lot of people lie about their age, pictures, fake profiles, AI. I literally came across a dating profile a few days ago that was someone, but it was AI, it wasn't a real human. I don't know what you do in a situation like that. Either she terminates the pregnancy or you break up and raise that child between you two. But then, like, would you want to raise a child like that with someone who's lied to you? The title really makes it sound like you got your 18-year-old daughter pregnant. That's what I was thinking. Like, whenever I read that title, I was thinking, oh god, where's this gonna go? And if anything, I feel like that ending was just as bad.
I have a confession that I've never shared.
Do it.
I'm 40 and I've been with my partner for 18 years. We have 3 children together. We're very happy and we have a good life, etc. We're just like your normal family, but here goes. A guy I used to sleep with when I was younger sometimes calls me now and then. He's also married with kids. And we have phone together.
Ooh.
Me using a toy and him doing his business. This has been going on for the last 8 or 9 years. I know I would never meet him and do anything physical in person, but I love the attention feeling I get from this. And it really feels like it boosts my life in real life.
Wow.
Is it normal?
No.
I think it's quite normal, babes, or bad of me. I'm not sure if this is cheating or not.
I think
Let's
it
tell you
is.
guys. I don't listen. People class cheating as different things. Some people would say
I would
no.
say that's cheating.
I
Yeah.
would probably wouldn't
Yeah.
be happy if it was
That
my
was
husband.
that's cheating. But listen, I'm not going to opinionate because listen, you do
crack
you,
on.
honey. You do you.
You do you.
Juicy confession.
Don't listen to what they said at the end. Don't you do you. Just don't do that. To the person who made that confession, if your husband were doing it, how would you feel? Now put yourself in his shoes and now you know how he will most likely feel. You know exactly what you're doing. Like, that is cheating. Not sure if this is cheating. Goodbye. Exactly. Like, I don't know what you count as cheating, but that certainly is cheating to me. You know, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, sounds like a duck, tastes like a duck, looks like a duck, it is a duck. And in that case, it is cheating.
Can you tell me something your parents don't know about you?
One time we invited a guy around to my flat. He stayed in my bed. He pissed on my bed, and then my parents stayed in that same bed the next day in my flat.
And you didn't tell them?
Oh, absolutely not. No way.
Oh, well, I don't really know what to say about that. You know, I hope you clean the sheets. How could you do that to your own parents? I know. Like, did they know that? Oh, were the sheets cleaned? I'm hoping that you did not make them sleep in piss-covered sheets. Dude marked his territory. I mean, yeah, he basically was acting like a wee dog. You know how dogs like pee and like mark their territory? Apparently that guy done it in her spare bed. I used to pick my friends mostly based on looks. 2 ugly next, 2 pretty next, somewhere in the middle. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so a little bit of background just for the context is I was raised by narcissistic and specifically a narcissistic mother who was always commenting on other girls' bodies and looks in super critical ways. I knew deep down that everyone was equal and looks shouldn't matter, but I think subconsciously I did this because I heard my parents speak and look so much. I just went with it without question. Unfortunately, it wasn't until my 30s that I really set aside all care of others' look, mostly because I did the work to heal the insecure parts of me that even cared. I'm sure it's no surprise that I fell into mean girl groups at one point, and only years later did I accept that I was one for a while. Being raised by toxic people can corrupt even the best intentioned people. I feel like that right there is very, very interesting because a lot of times people will only hang out with really ugly people or really pretty people, never really in the middle. Pretty people who know they're pretty people will surround themselves with ugly people who they know are ugly. And I know that sounds really cruel to say, but it is the truth. And even just the way the world is, pretty privilege is real. If you are pretty, your life a lot of times is easier. You'll get free stuff, you'll get treated better. That's just what comes with being pretty. I remember watching a video on TikTok a few years ago basically about an ugly friend, and she was talking about how whenever she started to better herself, I think she lost a bit of weight and like grew her hair out, done loads of stuff and basically had a mini glow up. Her best friend, who was your typical pretty girl, actually fell out with her, and the TikToker basically said she thinks the only reason her pretty friend was friends with her so it means it would make her feel better. She would kind of look at like the ugly friend and be like, oh, at least I don't look like that, and basically have her hanging around her just so it means it makes her look better. Parents set us up with patterns that can be exceptionally difficult to break. Kudos to you for doing the work to break free of that nonsense. I mean, yeah, that is true. In a way she's broke a generational curse, and hopefully she will not push that trauma onto her children and grandchildren in the future. Well, anyways guys, that's really fun video there. That's some juicy confessions. If we seem to look at more crazy confessions, let me know if you will. Subscribe and see you all tomorrow for another video.